sitting in a beanbag chair. Hi guys, welcome to another awesome tip of the week. We're gonna talk about, Hi, my name is Julia. I'm here to talk about the tip of the week. Hi guys, it's Coach Julia. I'm back with another tip of the week. This week, I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet. We're gonna talk about ways to measure your progress in fitness that have absolutely nothing to do with the scale. Number one way to track your progress is your performance. So one of the great things about CrossFit is everything we do is measurable. We repeat things, we test our max lifts, we time our workouts. So one of the reasons that we do that is because it's a good way to see if you're getting more fit. So if you don't already use one of those ways to track your workouts, consider doing it, and then you can look back and look at your progress, and maybe the number on the scale hasn't changed, but all of a sudden you've gone from running a 12-minute mile to running an 8-minute mile, which is huge. That's huge progress. Or you came into the gym and you could barely overhead squat the barbell, if at all, and now all of a sudden you're overhead squatting 120 pounds or body weight or whatever. But the scale is not the only way to measure if you look more fit. One way to measure is progress photos. Take a couple of photos. I know it's really awkward, but you don't have to ever show them to anyone. But then, a month down the road, take a couple more progress photos. A lot of times you see yourself every single day and you really have no idea if you look any different. You feel like you don't, but actually there has been some change. Another way is to measure your body fat percentage. Even though the scale isn't changing, your body composition might be changing. So if you've been doing a lot of strength training, you've probably gained some muscle and you've probably reduced your fat. So that there are certain scales that will measure it for you. They're not necessarily super accurate, but that doesn't really matter. All that matters is that you're looking at how that number changes. So as long as you're always measuring on the same piece of equipment, if that number's going down, then that means that you're progressing. Another way to measure your progress is how your clothes fit. I know that for me, for example, if my shorts are still fitting the same or even looser in the waist, but tighter in the butt and the legs, then I've probably put on some muscle in my lower half and maybe lost a little body fat in my waist. What else? Oh, another way is taking measurements. So if you measure your waist, which is typically the smallest part of your waist, and then your hips, which will be the largest part, as well as you might even want to measure like the circumference of your thighs or your arms. Those are really good ways to see if, even though you might be putting on muscle and your weight might be the same, you might be becoming more dense. So if you are gaining muscle and losing fat, then even though your weight might not change, your body might actually shrink. So measurements are a really good way to tell, as long as you're being consistent with the way that you're measuring. So make sure that if you are going to measure your waist or your thigh, that each time you measure, you're measuring in the same place and you're not changing, because that can totally skew your results. And all of these things can apply whether you're trying to lose weight or gain weight or just get stronger or more fit. A lot of times we get so caught up in the day-to-day that it's really hard to tell if we're making progress, and we get really down on ourselves. So it is really important to sit down and actually measure these things, because if you don't measure, you don't actually know what's going on. You're just totally guessing. That's it for today. We'll see you next week for another tip. Subscribe to our channel if you find these entertaining. Share this video if you think that someone you know needs to see it, and give it a thumbs up. The more thumbs up and subscriptions we get, the more people we're able to touch and help out, which is our ultimate goal. All right, have a great week, everyone. We will see you in the next one.
ต้องเล่เล่หนุนมายัง